welcome back to the Python programming session. In today's session, let's see the selection sort technique. So I have an array. So this is my array which is not sorted. So the elements are in a unsorted manner. Now let's sort this particular array using selection sort. We can do this by sorting the array either in ascending order or descending order. In today's session, let's see how we can sort in the ascending order. So the first element is the ith position and it is the minimum element as well. Let's consider it as the minimum element. So the minimum element initially I've given it in red color. This minimum element will be compared to the next element, that is 41. But 41 is greater than 32, so 32 remains the minimum element after the first checking. And in the second checking, 32 is compared with 53. 32 is less than 53, so 32 remains the minimum element and it is in red color. In the fourth step, it is compared with 12. 32 is larger than 12 or bigger than 12. So 12 becomes the minimum element. So this is in red color. And in the next step, 12 is compared, the minimum element 12 is compared with 22. So 12 is the minimum element. So it still retains in red color. At the end of all the checkings, checking with all the numbers, we see that the 12 is the minimum element and it is shifting and it shifts to the ith position. So ith position is the first element. So 12 occupies the first position. So green color means it is sorted, blue color is the unsorted array. So at the end of the first iteration, the smallest number has occupied the first position. So now let's move on to the second iteration. So this was the outcome of the first iteration. In the second iteration, let's not consider 12 because it's already sorted. Let's consider the I becomes the first element in the unsorted array. So this position is ith position and 41 is the minimum element. It is compared with 53. 41 remains the minimum element. It's compared with 32. So 32 becomes the minimum element because 41 is greater than 32. So 32 becomes the minimum element. Then the minimum element 32 is compared with 22 and 22 becomes the minimum element. So this element will occupy the ith position, that is the second position. So 22 will appear in over here. So 12 and 22 are sorted. Now in the third iteration, let's look into 53, 32, 41. We are not considering the sorted array, only the unsorted array we are considering. So in the third iteration, I will be holding the third position. Third iteration, third position. And minimum element will be 53. It's compared with 32. 32 is less, so it becomes the minimum element. The minimum element is compared with 41, but 41 is greater than 32. So 32 remains the minimum element and it occupies the ith position, that is third position. So in the third iteration, 32 occupies the third position. Now let's move on to the fourth iteration. So 53 is the minimum element and it is the ith position. 53 is greater than 41. So 41 becomes the minimum element and at the end it occupies the ith position. So 41 occupies this position and 53 occupies this position. So at the end of 4 iterations, our array is sorted in the ascending order by selection sort technique. So this was the selection sort technique of sorting the array in ascending order.